I've just turned my heaters on, so it's still a little bit cool out here, which means all of the steel is cool. So there's the adapter itself. So Dishy pops into the top here. It's got the two holes for it. And this goes over top of whatever post you've got. So the inside diameter of this, it's 2.5 inches. So whatever you're putting this over top of, it's got to be under 2.5 inches. Now it also comes with 6 bolts, and these bolts have got little points on the end of them to help it grip into whatever it is you're tightening it into. So what I did, just to make sure that I have got really good hold on it, is where this goes, is where the adapter goes over. I lined up the holes and I did a dimple drill mark on all 6 spots where those bolts go. That way the head of the bolt, or the tip of the bolt, fits in to that dimple really nicely and really helps hold it. The other thing I would recommend you do is use blue Loctite on these bolts. Now the blue Loctite is anti-vibration, where the red Loctite is more like a permanent lockup. I'm not a big fan of the red Loctite myself because it has caused me issues before where I've had to drill things out because it does sometimes lock up so friggin' solid you break your bolt off before you get it to come out. The blue Loctite will hold the bolts reasonably well, but you can, with enough force and maybe a little heat, undo a bolt with blue Loctite on it. So that's a little easier to deal with. So that's my tip for you for using the Starlink adapter. So all we need now is another break in the weather so we can get this thing up in place. Well, we've made a little more progress with the Starlink system. The bracket is now in place up on the tower, right there. So the only thing left now is to move Dishy off of its temporary spot, take all the wire down, and put it up in the new location. But much to my disappointment, I discovered once I was up there and had the bracket in place that that big pine tree was still gonna poke up and cause some trouble. So the pine tree is going to be on its way to the sawmill. Not happy about cutting it down. I don't lose anything because of where it was sitting, and it's going to allow the spruce to come in better. But it's going to make some really nice boards. So we're into our final preparations here for the move of the Starlink dish. So you can hear our wind chimes beeping away, and I'm just about to put the dish into stow mode. All right, do it. Go ahead, you're good. I think I'm good.
Boy, okay. Any value to have me up there helping
Nope.
stabilize you?
Nope. Okay.
Uh-oh, there goes the case.
That's fine. Okay, so Dishy is now in place up there. I've got the cord through the wall. I'll show you what I did there. So I've got a piece of 3/4 inch copper pipe here that goes through, and I can seal this up all around it, and then I can put some insulation down in there and a little bit of caulking inside the pipe to seal it up to make sure no rain can get through. This gives me a nice neat piece going through the wall, and it makes it easy to remove the pipe if I need to. Now it looks a little bit big here, but because of the piece that's around the wire where you plug it in, the 3/4 inch copper pipe is just barely big enough to slide the wire through. So that's all set. So we're just about to power everything up now. Now the last time I did this, or the very first time we did this, it actually took about 45 minutes for it to finish its setup. Now that was probably partially because of the blockage that it had. Now this time, where it is now, there is no blockage whatsoever. It is totally clear. So we'll plug it in and we'll see what happens. Okay, plug in now. All right, here we go. We're powering up. There it goes. It's moving. It's gone flat. Yeah, it just moved out here. So we've been about 4 minutes so far, and it looks like it's now pointing for the satellites.
Telling me all our connected devices, and we now have a good connection.
Okay, that sounds good. I'm on my way in. Okay, we've got the app open and we're going to run the speed test here for the first time. Now I'm right beside the router, so let's see what happens. Well, that looks pretty reasonable, I'd have to say. 160 megabits per second. I think we can live with that. That's good. Now let's go back and have a look at the other pages on the app. So you can see right there where the dish was setting up for the first time kind of thing. So it still wasn't pointing where it needed to point. So now we are actually in the right spot, pointing up into the sky, and it looks like we are good. So that's it for Starlink. It's taken a little while to get to this point, but we are there. We managed to get through the winter very nicely on the temporary stand. It worked great. So I'm going to take it all apart and reuse the wood for other things. And the only thing I'll have left to do is just finish securing the wire in place. So you saw our speed test. Everything looks really good. Very happy with it. And we are now ending our subscription with our other provider. So things are permanent. We're done. So that's it for today's video. Thanks very much for watching, guys. And we'll see you out on the trails the next time.